Hello everyone, very good evening. I hope I'm audible loud and clear. Other folks, everyone, I hope I'm audible loud and clear.
Yeah, I can hear you well.
Awesome. Sorry for starting this delay. Actually, I'm with some more people, but I guess people are watching might be match, which is going very interesting. I'm also one of them. No problem, but we'll start the show. Let me share my screen first. Awesome. So, first of all, thank you for joining everyone. Thank you for giving your 20-30 minutes for on this DevOps. So, let me introduce myself first. So, my name is Ameya Vaidya. Basically, I born and brought up in Nashik, in Maharashtra state, and currently I'm earning in Pune. Now I'm specifically Punekites because I'm here from last more than 10 plus years, right? And I actually started my journey in IT sector with this in Pune only. So I'm having more than 16 plus years of experience in the industry. So basically, I'm the cybersecurity guy earlier, right? So you can say DevSecOps, that is developer plus security plus operational. So I started my career with the security, and then I slowly moved to the cloud, right? Then operation as well, and then I'll also become the DevSecOps, which is a combination of three. I already completed a lot of certifications, Cisco certification, you can say Microsoft certification, Red Hat certification. I also have 6 AWS certification, 2 Azure certification, and 1 GCP. That's the Google Cloud Platform, right? And platform. So, and also I'm preparing one of the latest certification, that is AWS Generative AI Advanced. That's on developer, which is the latest one, and currently it is in beta. So probably in this week, next week I'm trying to give the exam. So I'm also managing a different communities as well. So one of them is AWS community. So mainly currently my job is to implement the solutions on the AWS. Okay, it's a completely DevSecOps jobs, right? And managing the some team as well. And for whenever I have a time, I'll also go to the meetups. Okay, discuss with the the people from Pune. I mean once in a month. Okay, so we have almost I mean to say we discuss on almost all the topic of DevOps, DevSecOps, and even though the AWS specifically. So I'm also arranging these kind of meetups in every month, and I'm also a speaker. So I also travel a lot. Okay, so there are AWS summits, AWS community days in the colleges. Okay, so I deliver a lot of talks. Okay, on a different technologies. For an example, you can see in Jaipur, I talk about the machine learning. For an example, in machine learning, what exactly? That is a no code. So, for example, let's say if you hate developers or if you hate developing, then AWS Canvas is a tool from where you can use it. You can just drag and drop it, and it create infrastructure for you. That's the no code here. In Kochi, I also deliver the talk on security. What is my topic name was day 2 security. So the one security, as you know, that we configure firewalls, I know preventions and managing everything. But what about the day 2? So I deliver the talk on day 2, and these are some colleges. Okay, Snap, where I deliver the talk on. I also conducted some workshop on the multi cloud and also on DevSecOps as well. And whenever I have a time, oops, sorry. So whenever I have a time, okay, because biking is also my one of the profession. So whenever I have a time, I find my bikes, okay, and I'll find somewhere, and you will find me somewhere in the nature, because I feel that this biking is nothing but an healing time for me, or the meditation time for me. And if you want me to connect, right, so I'm also available on LinkedIn, so where I post a lot of things about the the AWS, DevOps, DevSecOps, security, and everything. So I posted. So if you want, you can also connect me over the LinkedIn as well. So now today, okay, we gather here about to understand about the DevOps specifically. Hmm. So we offer you okay about the developer and operational, right? But before that, okay, I want to share some information about that. Why we require DevOps. So let me switch my deck. Just give me 1 second. So now, folks, here you can see when we talk about DevOps, but you need to understand why DevOps, right? Why it is developer plus operational. Because before DevOps and the automation, so what happened exactly? Software was released manually. These are the traditional way to create many problems and risk as well. So let's understand one by one what I'm exactly trying to say. So earlier what happened, it's about the inconsistent packaging. What exactly it means when I say inconsistent packaging? It means the application is packed differently every time. So might be there is a different version, some missing files or some wrong dependencies. For an example, okay, if I give some real life example, let's suppose you order some pizza, right? So imagine, okay, you're ordering the same pizza from the same restaurant. Day one, what happened? You will also get a cheese and topping. Day two, when you order the same pizza, there is no cheese. And day three, might be there is some extra salt as well. That's inconsistency in the packaging. Okay, and this is same the same thing happen in the software packages as well. So developer A create a build on their laptop. Developer B create another build on their laptop, and both build behave differently. And what have happened? Result is that developers say that it work on my machine, right? So it wasn't my problem. It might be the infrastructure problem. And there is also inconsistent software deployment as well. So what exactly it means? It means application behave differently in different environment. So you also have a dev work. Okay, you also have the dev work as well, but the test or production fail. So let's say your code run fine in a college or lab or computer, but same code crashes on your home and laptop. Same thing happen. So dev server has, let's say Java version 17, and prod server, okay, they have a Java 11. So obviously here app crashes in a production environment, and result is that last minute failures. So here your updating software is also slow, risky, and obviously the painful as well. So here upgrading your, okay, I mean to say here it's very slow, risky, and painful, right? So again, updating the database version, updating the OS libraries, there is no automation, everything is manual, and it might be team delay upgrade, there is might be security vulnerabilities also. And when I say no, okay, plan for the rollback, it means what? If release fail, there is a no easy way to go back, right? So you submit the wrong assignment, then what will happen? Obviously, okay, there is no any undo button, right? Same thing happen here. If the new release deploy, app crashes and there is a no backup of the previous version. So the result is about the long downtime. Then also the business loss as well. And it might be there are some possible error as well. So humans do repetitive tasks. Mistakes happen, right? So let's say you're typing on some long password manually, one wrong character, it means what? Again, login failed. So here also in software, wrong command also executed, ROM server update also happen, and there is also okay some configuration step also it you might forgot as well. right? So it might be your production outage, you are again the blaming game start as well. And there are some manual approvals as well, because it also release and again it's also depend upon the people availability. And too many approvals also slow down the things, right? So let's say your file needs some file signature. So manager on leave, what happened? File stuck on the day, no delays. So same thing, email approval, manual sign off, waiting for a OK button. So it means slow release, delay in feature. So it means in your traditional software release is very slow, risky, and it also depend heavily on humans. That's why the modern companies, everyone is use DevOps, automation, CI/CD, containers, and the clouds. Make sense, everyone? Why exactly we required? Everyone, are you there? Come on, folks. I'm just waiting for your answer. I hope you are there, and I hope I'm audible loud and clear.
Yes,
Abuddin, Aman, Lalit, Macrise,
that's clear.
Pragati, Rajendra, Sahil. There are a lot of many people. Saurabh, people.
Yes, it's clear.
So now here you can see the DevOps, right? DevOps culture. Now see, DevOps is not a tool, or I can say it's not a job role. Let's understand DevOps is a culture and mindset that change how people work together to deliver the software faster and safely. So here the main focus is on customer. What exactly it means? It means build a software for a user, not just a complete task. And here the customer feedback is more important than your internal assumptions. For an example, let's say Zomato, right? So this food delivery app, Zomato, update application based on the user review. So let's say if the user complained about the slow up, so what happened? Okay, it generated a ticket and some team fix the performance first, right? Or let's say they also monitor the user behavior. They also fix bugs that affect user most. The main thing of the DevOps is customer happiness. So the customer happiness is a final goal. And it also using DevOps, you can also create a very highly collaborative environment. Okay, for example, developer, operational, QA, and even though security work together. So it means there is no silos, no blame game as well, right? So developer, okay, they check that whether the code is correct. Operation team, they check whether the deployment failed because of code or something. So in case deployment failed because of the code, then DevOps approach what exactly it is? Everyone own the product together, right? So it means we win the together and we also fail together. Hmm. So here you also need to work on the continuous experiment and obviously learning thing. So here in DevOps, we have a new ideas, some small and safe experiment as well. And we also learn from the failure, right? Let's suppose, you try whenever we stuck something while reading or studying, we try to find some new study method. If doesn't work, we change the approach as well. Same thing here. There is a to B testing. We also trying some new tools in non-production environment, right? So failure is obviously the feedback, not exactly the disaster. And obviously, okay, we also include some security everywhere from the day one. Okay, so we are not going to add anything at the end. So we try to identify whether it is your security, vulnerabilities, anything. We find on the early sessions as well, before the deployment or while working or while working on some tools. So traditional approach, it means what? You build the app, you deploy it, and then you can security check, right? But what exactly the DevOps approach here? So in DevOps, first, okay, security during the coding, testing, and deployment, right? So it means what? From the day one, you have a security. Okay, we call that security from a day one. Okay, and we also automate whenever is possible. If a task is repetitive, let's automate it. That's the main focus, right? So here we also have a automated build, automated testing, and even though there is also automated deployment as well. So because machine don't make a careless mistake, but it might happen that human can. And we also focus on developing small. We build a feature in a very small pieces. Why? Because it easier to test, it fix, and obviously we can improve immediately, right? For an example, microservices, right? Some small commitments, because small changes are safer and they are also faster. Because why? Because we release it often. We don't wait month to month release. We release some small update frequently. For example, you can also see WhatsApp. So WhatsApp also release frequent update instead of one big update in a year, right? So how we exactly we can do that? We can do that using CI/CD, so that we can get a fast feedback, faster improvement as well. And the last one, that is continuously improve. It means we always look for an improvement. Okay. And we also ask ourselves, no, this is not enough. This is a mindset of the DevOps, right? So that you can also improve the pipeline, optimize performance, reduce the deployment time. So DevOps is a journey, not exactly the destination. So folks, here DevOps culture focus on a people, collaboration, automation, security, and even though continuous improvement to deliver better software faster, right? So here you can see what exactly you're going to learn here. That is in DevOps. It means CI, that is continuous integration. Okay, and CD, it means continuous delivery and continuous deployment as well. So continuous integration, it means it build the software and deploy to a non-production environment for a automated testing. And when I say continuous delivery, it means it's include a manual approval or a manual approval step before deploying to the production. And there is also continuous deployment. It means which is a fully automated pipeline from build all the way to the production and deployment. So that's the reason, okay, we choose this DevOps. So in DevOps, we move it a very high velocity so that you can also innovate for a customer faster, so that you can also adapt to changing market better, and you can also grow more efficient at driving business result, because here employing the DevOps model, developers and operation team can achieve these results. For example, microservices, right? Microservices, it means what? You build a product, okay, using some microservices. You deploy those services on a different tools, services here. So microservices and continuous delivery, okay, is, you can say, it make a team for to take the ownership of the service, and then you can release update quicker. It also increase the frequency and pace of the release, so that you can also innovate and improve your product faster. And obviously the quicker you can release new feature and big no, no the fixes, The bug fixes, you more faster it. So continuous integration and continuous delivery are a practice that automate the software release process from build to deploy. Then you also have, okay, you also ensure about the quality of the application updates and infrastructure changes. You can also reliably deliver a more rapid pace while also you are maintaining a positive experience for the end users. Scale is also one of the important because operate and manage your infrastructure and development process at scale. Automation and consistency help you to manage complex or changing system efficiently and with the reduced risk. For example, infrastructure as a code which help you to manage your development, testing and production environment, and that is also in a repeatable and more efficient. So anyone aware about what exactly the infrastructure as a code? Anyone aware about it? Anyone?
Infrastructure as a code.
Yeah, it's one of the tool which we are going to learn in DevOps.
We just only install the software on our machine, right? There's the infrastructure as a.
Okay. Any other folks? What do you think? What is the infrastructure as a code?
So we
So,
have
in
only
short,
executable.
okay, no problem. So let me tell you a very small, in very short. Now let's say what happened. We create an infrastructure manually, right? So in a cloud or anything, we create everything manually. It might there is a might be issue with the some human error as well. And what will happen if you require the same infrastructure again and again, repeatably? So in that case, okay, the concept is infrastructure as a code. It means you have a code which is might be it's written in the YAML, JSON, HashiCorp or anything, and you run that text file which is in YAML, JSON in an infrastructure as a code. That is a tool. And once you run that YAML file, JSON file in that tool, so what will happen? It create exactly the same infrastructure which is mentioned in your JSON, YAML or any HashiCorp. So the tool called Terraform, you might have heard about it. So it's one of the best tool in a DevOps which we use regularly. If it is AWS, we also use a cloud formation tools. So this infrastructure as a code will help you in a DevOps for repeatability because you already have that the JSON file or YAML file or something with a text file, and you just need to execute in your infrastructure as a code, and it create exactly the same thing, right? So here also you will also get the more security in DevOps because you can move quickly and retaining the control and also preserving your compliances as well, right? So mainly what exactly we run or what exactly we are going to learn is about these six things. That is continuous integration, continuous delivery, some microservices, infrastructure as a code, monitoring and login, and communication and collaboration. So when I say continuous integration, what exactly it is? It is also a software development practice where developer regularly merge their code or the changes into the central repository, after which they automate the build and test and run. So the main goal of this continuous integration is find and address bug quicker, improve the software quality, and it also reduce the time to take to validate and release a new updates here. And there is also continuous delivery as well. Now, continuous delivery is also a software development practice where the code changes are automatically built, tested, and prepare for a release to production. It also expand upon your continuous integration by deploying all code changes to the testing environment or your production environment. And there are just now I explained about microservices. So this microservice architecture is designed or the approach to build a single application as a set of small services, and each service run its own process and communicate with other services through well defined interface using a very lightweight mechanism, typically HTTP based API. So these microservices are built around the business capabilities, and each service is scoped to the single purpose. And you can also use a different framework, or let's say some programming language, to write microservices and deploy them independently as a single service or as a group of service. Okay, just now I explained the infrastructure as a code as well, to define by code, to deploy quickly using standardized pattern, update with some latest patches and version, and duplicated in repeatable way. And obviously monitoring part, because all this, right, whatever the resources that you have, obviously those resources require also a monitoring, logs, how application and infrastructure is performed, what is the impact of the experience of the product. So by capturing this or analyzing the data, which or whatever the logs are generated, the application infrastructure team will get about the information, update affected users, so that you can also react quickly as well. And when I say this communication and collaboration, so using DevOps tool and some automation of the software delivery process is also establish a collaboration by physically bringing together the workflow and obviously the responsibility of development and operation as well. So that's the reason this DevOps is very, very important. So in AWS, okay, these are some tools to help the DevOps. For example, AWS code build, which build and test the code with continuous scaling in the pay as you go model. There is also AWS code artifact, which secure, scalable, and very cost effective software artifact management. Code deploy. So you can also automate code deployment. There is also code pipeline as well, which automate continuous delivery pipeline. Code config, which also assess audit, evaluate the configuration of your AWS resources. Cloud formation is an infrastructure as a code tool, okay, that give a developer and business a very easy way to create collection of related AWS and third party resources. Then there is also CloudWatch, which also collect access and manage monitor the resources. And there is also AWS X-ray, which analyze and debug production or distributed. And there are more on this. So these are just the sample tools which we are using as an AWS DevOps. So for AWS, these are these tools. For Azure, you also have a different tools. For GCP also, you have a different tools. So in our syllabus, okay, so totally we also have a 13 models. Okay, so for example, we have some introduction part, and then I'm also going to explain about Linux, because reason is that DevOps, all the tool which we are using, whether it is microservice, Kubernetes, container, okay, and many things, you also require some Linux basic commands. So without Linux, DevOps is no useful. So I'm going to explain, okay, some Linux basics, some networking concepts as well. And if the AWS is alien for you, so don't worry. I'm also going to explain about the fundamental of cloud computing. Okay, what exactly the AWS is, all the dashboards and everything, how to choose right regions, availability zones. I mean to say how AWS manage the infrastructures, some information about the storage part, then virtualization, networking, right? These are everything I'm going to cover here as well. And then we also have some shell scriptings, because shell scripting is also required for your software programmings. Okay. And then I'm also going about the version control, Git specifically. Okay. So how exactly we can use a repository like a Git, GitHub, right? How exactly you can use centralized versus the distributed environment. So that I'm going to explain. And then once I complete that, I'm also going to explain about the continuous integration with the Jenkins. So whether it is installation, configuration, management, setups, everything I'm going to explain in this Jenkins topic here. And then we also have a chef, okay, the component, okay, introductions about these tools, which is very good. And then some monitoring tools like in Prometheus, Grafana, even though I'm also going to show you how exactly we can deploy on the production environment, how we can release it, and some Ansible and infrastructure as a code. So here I'm also going to explain about the Terraform as well. Now the Terraform is also a multi-cloud infrastructure as a code. And then there is also Ansibles, which I'm going to explain about what exactly the Ansible, okay, the syntax, okay, playbooks, models, how exactly we use in the production environment. And then I'll explain you about the Docker container, then even though some Kubernetes part as well. Now these are what? These are the open source tool currently is managed by the CNCF. And also I'm going to explain the Terraform, which is the infrastructure as a code, which also required the HashiCorp, and also going to explain you how exactly we can integrate Terraform on a AWS. And once we complete everything, we also have some projects, some case studies, which I'm going to explain, which is a completely real life. So these are the syllabus which I'm going to explain in a 2 month. Make sense, everyone? So today, just an explain. I mean to say, just simple. I would just want to keep the simple, short and simple because we have a less member today. But still, if you have any question, I'm open. Any
Just
question?
a question from my side. So, are we going to dig deep into the AWS part, or it will be more focused on tools?
More focus on tools, and I'm also going to show you DevOps in AWS. But to understand DevOps in AWS, these basic things are required. That's the reason I added in this syllabus. Because if I directly start to deploying on the AWS, you confuse it.
And how are you going to do the practicals? I mean, do
So
will
you
we
can
get the
create a trial version. So now after 15 July 2025, AWS provided $200 credits, which you can use it. You can create a trial account, which is for the 6 month validity, and we can have a practice on those trial account as well.
okay? And what will be the timing?
The session timing.
Yeah.
So probably it's in 8:30 or 7:30. We have not yet decided. So weekday and weekend we haven't decided yet. So it's a
Okay. As
completely
long as
based
it
on
can
the.
go, as long as
Uh,
it can go weekdays, 8:30 p.m. or somewhere, I'm good with that.
yeah, I'm sure. What I'm saying that either we are going with the 7:30 or 8:30. We haven't decided the timing, but these are the
Uh,
time slot that we might fix. Okay, but
okay.
again, so it completely depend upon the total number of participant and everything. So we can start it.
Okay. Thank you.
So it's 90%. You can say 8:30 because office timing, right? I completely understand why you're asking. Even though I'm also free after 7:30 p.m. in evening. Make sense? I guess Saurabh, right?
Yeah. Thank you.
Yep. Okay, Saurabh. Yes, Sheikh. The say recording is already there. So we have our own LMS portal. So you don't need to, join from the link. You have a portal. So you can just log into that portal and daily you have a recordings and everything. So all the details, project works, everything is available on our portal only. So you have access to that portal, I guess, for the 1 year as well. So you have all the recordings. Yep. Any other question? I'm more than happy to ask the question because the session is more on the question side. No question. Everyone is good. Ajmal, Aman, Nishant. Pragati, Rinku, Sakshi, all good to go? So coding's the course. I'm not the right person to know because I don't know the course. So you can just ask the salesperson. He will give you the information about the cost of the syllabus. I mean to say the session. Okay, I guess you don't have any questions. So guys, if you still have a question, please reach out to these number which is mentioned, right? So if you have any technical doubts, you can just ping me as well. No problem. Okay, so we might have a next session. Okay, might be in the next week, so that you will also get the information from our team. So thank you so
So
much for spending your time.
I did not enroll. So can you drop today's recording so I can go through it? Check.
Yeah, you can just contact the team. It might be available right after
Yeah,
the
I have
session.
email, so I dropped
Yeah,
the email.
sure, you will. So you will get it. No problem.
Okay.
Okay, so thank you. I hope there is no question, right? Okay, so thank you so much for joining the session, folks. Let's meet in the next session. Thank you. Bye bye. Enjoy your weekend.